Hello, booktubers. Booktubers? That's like Swedish. Okay. So, hi guys. Today I'm going to be doing a video. Obviously, a video. What? Okay. Just start over. I'm going to be doing a book tag. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. And this tag was started by Raeleen. Not Padfoot. Wow. Padfoot and Prongs 07, maybe. It's Raeleen. I'm sorry. Moving on. This tag is the Playing With Your Emotions book tag, and I saw this on Melissa's channel, and I decided to do it myself too. So, thanks Raeleen for starting this. I may do a movie tag of the same question, same emotions. And I was also thinking of doing an anime version, which I think would be pretty cool. So I think I'm going to do that on my other channel eventually. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about books. So let's talk about books. The first emotion is happy, and I'm pretty sure this is probably the happiest book I own. Maybe, I mean, a lot of books make me happy for various reasons, but I chose Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. Now, okay, I love Anna and the French Kiss, I love it, but this one has like the best of both worlds, because this one is like a completely new story with a new character, but it also has Etienne and Anna in it, and I think that is completely happy, because it's like, oh my gosh, they're still together, and it's like, Also, Lola has two gay dads, who I absolutely love to death. I love them to freaking death. Cricket's incredibly hot and sweet and lovely, and I love this relationship that they had together. And also, I love Lola, and I want her to be happy, and I hate that she's insecure about herself, and I just want to hug her. And it's just such a fun, happy book. And there's a lot of good themes as well that are thrown in here that are kind of like a little dark and just like realistic, I think. And I love, again, I freaking love that Stephanie Perkins wrote in her parents as two gay dads. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you never see that anymore. I mean, you read about it in LGBT literature, but you hardly ever see gay characters in, like, realistic fiction with straight characters or whatever. I mean, I love when they add those in. It makes it more realistic, you know? So anyway, this book is just beautiful. I love it so much. It's so fun, and it just makes my day. I really, really want to reread this. This is so, so good. Next is a book that makes me sad, and there are plenty of books that make me sad because I'm an incredibly emotional person, and, like, I'll cry in anything. I cried in Vampire Academy. That's how, like, emotional I am. So, yeah. But the book that I chose is actually... My stomach just growled. That's not good. I'm hungry. Okay. Burned by Ellen Hopkins. Okay, this actually could fit like a bunch of emotions. It's mainly angry because her mother, or maybe it's her father, her parents make me angry. I don't remember. I need to reread this book. But, oh my god. Okay, I think I did a reaction video in my review. You can see my reaction to the ending, and a lot of people were like, oh, he's faking it. No, I don't fake crying, okay? I don't. I am so fucking emotional. So, yeah. It's just, oh my god, I can't wait for the sequel to come out next year, and I'm just like, what's gonna happen? Why? Why, Ellen? Why? Just why? Why? Why did you do this? Why? Like... Oh my god. The next emotion is angry, and I picked two books, I believe, that make me incredibly angry for basically the same reason, actually, because I really hate the main villain. Curtis Alderson from Dead End is, like, infuriating. He is just, like, the epitome of evil and douchebaggery ever. He's just freaking crazy, and I hate him. And I hate his son, Bo, too. His son, Bo, is a little freaking... sicko, twisted mind piece of mother ginger jambata. I hate them both. They're both sick people that just do not deserve life. I'm sorry. I know that's horrible to say, but they are sick and twisted, and I hate them. Then there's Nicholas Stain by Melvin Burgess, and the person that makes me so mad in this book is the villain, Tony Creel. Again, a sicko, a pervert, of the old degree. He is a sick, disgusting man that just, oh my god, people that actually do this thing to kids is just, oh, it makes me want to throw up. It's just disgusting, and I hate him. And it makes me so angry when I read this book, because I'm like, oh my god, these poor freaking kids. Oh my god, why are you such a sick pervert? And just so you know, those have incredibly dark content, so keep that in mind. And both of those, I guess, make me kind of sad as well, so many emotions in my tag. The next emotion is nostalgic, and I picked one book that I actually talked about in my last book tag video, and that's The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Every time I read this book, I think about my friends that I used to have when I was in middle school, and that just makes me happy, because I miss them so much. And I never talk to them anymore, and they never talk to me anymore, because, I mean, we're, like, out of high school, we're in college now, so, and they're in another state as well, so it's like, I miss them so much. And it just makes me think about them, and I want to think about them, and that makes me happy. And this book was also, as you know, the first book that got me into reading, I guess, first book that got me into reading books on my own, rather, because I was into my dad reading things to me since till I was like 12, and I have no shame, because I did not like reading by myself, but I loved when my dad read to me because he was freaking hilarious. And the series of unfortunate events is another thing that makes me nostalgic, because my dad would read that to me, and he would do the voices, and I would just crack up laughing every single scene. He was amazing, and I love that book too. Anyway, now that I'm done choking on my own bowels, what? Don't pay attention to me. I don't know what I'm talking about either. So The Outsiders is just nostalgic for me. Anyway, let's move on. The next emotion is scared, and this book made me pretty terrified. I love this author. I love this book so frickin' much. And that's Breeding Ground by Sarah Pinborough. I don't know how many of you know. I need to move my beard because it's getting into my mouth, and that's disgusting. It's just, stupid beards. This book is about, you can tell by the cover what it's about. It's about giant spiders that basically start the apocalypse and take over the world. And how it's done is a spider will plant its eggs into a woman, and then the woman will bloat up and turn into this, like, thing, and then the egg will pop, the spider will pop out of her stomach, and she'll explode, and then the spider will be alive and running around and eating people. And yeah, it's just freaking disturbing and scary, and I am deathly afraid of spiders. Seriously, a little baby spider that's on the wall will make me freeze and, like, just buckle up and just, it's horrible. I hate spiders. Ugh. And to have giant spiders be the main antagonist of the series, of the book, is just disturbing and just, every night I went to bed and I was like, there are spiders crawling all over me, and I am gonna die. I am gonna be blown up by a big giant egg, and there's gonna be a spider crawling around my little pieces of body parts, and I'm gonna be alive, feeling it all, and I'm just, I apologize if any of you are disturbed right now, but that's what this book did to me. The next emotion is surprise, and this one is a freaking huge surprise. I did not expect this at all, and that is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. Going into this, I thought it was going to be like a cliche vampire romance story that we've all seen 1,000 times because of the Twilight craze and all that bullshit, but it's not. Is there romance in the story? Yes. Is it a main plot? No. It's like, the romance in this kind of comes in at about this point, maybe. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of is, like, hinted out in the beginning, but then it's, like, it's not like, oh my god, you're hot, I love you. No. I was really surprised by that romance aspect of this book, and also the fact that she put dark themes into the book as well. There's some really dark material in this book that I was just so surprised to find out about. And I was also surprised that I cried in this book because they reveal their sad, horrible past, and I'm just like, oh, Dimitri! And then I proceeded to cry, and I love this book. It's such a big surprise to me. I love it so much. Thank you, Rochelle. I love you. Here's where the fun comes in. Disappointed. Now, okay, what book made me disappointed, you wonder? It's definitely The Iron Daughter by Julie Kagawa, and I don't own it anymore because I sold it because I don't like it at all. The only aspect I did like about the book was that it's kind of a bittersweet kind of aspect because my favorite character dies, and it was an amazing scene. I love that scene. It made me cry. But everything else about the book made me incredibly disappointed, and oh my god, I hate that book. But I just, there was so much potential to be good. And, oh my god, Megan could have had such a big backbone in this book, but she didn't. And she was a damsel in distress the entire frickin' time until, like, the last 20 pages or something. And I'm like, oh god, frickin' Guess this would kind of count for angry as well, wouldn't it? I was so frickin' disappointed with this book. And I just, no, I'm never gonna read it again. I probably should have mentioned that in my other tag video, but yeah, and no ill will towards the author at all. I'm sure she's a fabulous, wonderful lady, and she has great writing. I love her beautiful writing, but I just hate her characters. That's the only thing. And just, yeah. So anyway, that's the disappointed part of the video. Next is a book that makes me incredibly distressed. And that book is With or Without You by Brian Ferry, or Fari. I'm sorry, I still don't remember how to say your name, Brian. I'm sorry. This book is incredibly distressing. I can't describe to you why it's distressing because I don't want to spoil anything, but it just is. And at the beginning, I can tell you about the beginning that makes me distressed. It's about Evan and Davis, and they get beat up for being gay at school by these bullies, and that's how the book starts. They're like in their room, bleeding through the mouth and everything, and they're beaten up, and they're starting to talk about, you know, why this is happening to them and what's going on, and it makes me so distressed, and I want to hug them and beat the crap out of the bullies, and just, oh my god, this book just makes me so distressed, and there's more to it that makes me distressed about this book, but I don't want to get into it because it's spoilery, so I won't say that. But if you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. It's just so distressing and so good, and oh my god, it also makes me happy in some ways too, because Eric was created, and you know, I freaking love Eric, and if I could, I would grab him out of the book and then just proceed to do sexy things to him. So that's my thoughts on this book. And the last emotion is confused, and this one is definitely a book that makes me incredibly confused, and that is Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. Okay, so the first half of this book, right about here, is where the book starts to make a little bit of sense. But all of this is like utter nonsense to me. Don't get me wrong, it was beautiful and it was awesome, and I kept reading. It was like you don't understand anything, and that's why you keep reading, to understand everything towards the end. And I will say, everything is like tied up in a nice bow, and you're like, holy freaking crap. And I love that about this book. It makes you so confused, but it keeps you reading, and it's just so good. I love this book so much. The mindfuck at the end is like freaking fabulous and wonderful, and like you don't see it coming, and I love it so much. But all of this was so confusing because I'll read you a little bit of it actually. So it starts, I'll read the first sentence, I guess. Where you're supposed to be is some big West Hills wedding reception in a big manor house with flower arrangements and stuffed mushrooms all over the house. Jump about 20 pages. Jump backward just a few days to the living room of a rich house in Vancouver, British Columbia. Move over more and jump to around midnight in Evie's house where I catch Sam Thomas trying to kill me. So yeah, it's like that. It's like that. That is how the book is told. And that's Seth Thomas, by the way. I read that wrong. But it's like that. Like, it just jumps around a lot, and you're like, what is going on? Where are we? Are we in the past or the future? Where are we? What are we doing? I don't understand this. But again, it's all tied up at the end, and you're just like, holy freaking crap, that is the best ending in any book I've ever read. Oh my god, I love this book so much. I love it. I love you, Chuck Palahniuk. Your satires are absolutely phenomenal. I love you. And that is my Emotions book tag. Yay! That made me kind of crazy and random. I should do a random portion of the video, but I've already been random for this whole video, so why would I want to do that? So I'll do a movie version of this tag eventually, probably in a few days maybe, because I want to make videos. For some reason, I just have this urge to make videos, and yeah. So thank you, Raeleen, for starting this tag. It's wonderful. I loved it. I was happy and fun and mad and sad and distressed and disturbed and confused all the time, and it was all of the flora of these emotions that are going out of my body like giant spiders that just want to eat your face off. Where the hell was I going with that? Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. I will see you guys next time. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye-bye.